How does it feel to pay an 88? I'm playing the DayZ mod, Arma 2. I'm going to show you a few things what to expect when you get started. I'm playing on the single player version, so this is offline. All of this is really not going to help you interact with other players. This is just a walkthrough of how to get along by yourself, or and to navigate through the zombies. Also what kind of items and things you should expect to find, and what you should pick up, what you don't need. So when you start out, you'll have your gear, Makarov, some supplies, and your backpack. So if you have third-person option available to you, that's a lot easier to use for navigating and to look around. Left Alt will allow you to free look, either in first-person mode or third-person mode. The keypad Enter will switch to third-person mode and back and forth from first to third. WASD is your walk. You can also lean with Q and E. Reload is R. Those are the basic keys you really need. To access your gear, hit G. F will cycle through from your weapon to flares or grenades if you have them, chem lights, things like that. Also it allows you to change firing mode on the fully automatic weapons. Let's see, so the first thing you got to figure out is where you are. There are several online maps to use that you can use that are really helpful in figuring out where you're at. It's a bit of a chore at first until you find some landmarks. As you can see, the map's quite massive. Well, one landmark right here is the bridge. There's some houses over here. I'm not going to figure out exactly where I am right now. I'm just going to kind of explore with you here. So if you double tap W, it'll let you stand up and sprint. Sprinting is unlimited, but as you sprint longer, you will start to slow down. Also, the faster you move, the quicker you'll need to eat food. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, there's the food icon there, and above that is your blood, and then water, temperature, and then humanity above that. And then all the way up in the middle of the screen on the right hand side is your the eye and the ear, allow you to see how easily you're seen by the zombies around you and how loud you are. So I'll crawl up over here. You don't really need to crawl this far away. You can see some zombies over there. Right click will zoom in. If you hold it, it'll zoom in. If you tap it, it'll go to first person mode so you can aim. And then you can right click and hold from there. It'll zoom in even farther. So as I stand up and move, you can see the right hand side, the gauges will move to indicate how detectable I am as far as vision and hearing. So a good way to move around is either crouching, just crouching and walking like this, crouching and walking, and then shift will allow you to sprint. If you hold it or double tap it, will lock sprint on. If you double tap Alt, that'll also hold the free look down. So we'll enter this little village here, kind of look around, see if we can find some items. As you sprint, you'll make more noise and become more visible. So I don't like to get too close to them while crouch walking. Once you're about this range, it's a good idea to lay down. As long as you're not in front of them laying down, they're probably not going to see you. Within about 5 to 10 feet, they can trip over you and find you that way. So it's a good idea to let them walk by you or go around behind them. Also, if you're standing up and walking on roads or hard surfaces, that's also going to make you more detectable, easier to see, and you'll be louder. So it's a good idea to stay off the roads whenever possible. Even if you're following a road to navigate, it's a good idea just to stay off the road and move alongside it is what I usually do. And coming around these buildings is kind of tricky sometimes. If you're moving too fast, they can detect you through the walls. So it's a good idea to check your corners if you're moving around quickly. Vehicles like these burnt out husks, some of them are repairable. I'm not going to go into that because it's a lot easier to do with a buddy. So if you want to repair a vehicle, it's a little bit more advanced. I'm sure people in the servers, if you get hooked up with a good bunch of people, they'll want to try to do that, since vehicles really make moving around a lot easier. So once I'm kind of out of range of zombies, you can get up and move a little bit quicker. Some of these houses are enterable, some are not. Unfortunately, a good portion of them are not. Gates like these, you see the icon pop up. Oh boy. Thought I heard a zombie. You see the icon pop up. If you use your scroll wheel, you can open or close or interact with objects, or just hit the enter button, your main enter. That will perform the action. Across the road here, see if I can find something I can go into and find some gear. There we go, a little shack right here. Check your corners if you're moving quickly. Here we go, we found some supplies. So when you find supplies, you'll see the little icon pop up. You can either use the scroll wheel and go to gear and left click, or you can just hit the G button with that icon up. So we found ourselves a Makarov magazine. Those are always good to have. I tend to just hold on to my Makarov even if I find some other handguns. The Makarov magazines are plentiful. Usually they're the easiest ones to find. So Makarov magazines are good to pick up if you want to hold on to your Makarov. Eventually you might feel like switching it up, but the Makarov magazines are all over the place, and having a good handgun with you will make taking out zombies a little bit easier on account of the fact that they are quieter than using rifles. So if you can, you prefer to use your handgun to take out zombies and just use your rifles on people, other players. Now, since I have a little bit of extra, this is something I do. I don't like carrying around all this junk. I'll keep a little bit of extra supplies stocked up, maybe 2 cans of food and water bottles that I can refill. I'll keep in my backpack. So if you open your backpack, it doesn't actually open when you're just browsing your inventory. You'll know that your backpack's open because you'll have these arrows. So anything on the left hand side is inside your backpack, and anything on the right hand side is in your main inventory. So I don't want my water bottle in my main inventory, so I'm going to switch it over to the backpack. That'll get it out of my way and free up some space this way. I got a can of pasta in my backpack, so I'm just going to eat this and drink some soda to get that out of the way, so free up some inventory. I like to keep my medical supplies in my backpack, or at least any extra ones. Painkillers will help you if you get injured and your screen starts to shake. The painkillers will stop the screen from shaking. Oh, I didn't want to take that, but oh well. Flares are good to have for nighttime, obviously. They will illuminate a good area and keep the attention off of you. These road flares here. And to get to those, you just hit F on your keyboard and they'll pop up and you can toss them. The longer you hold down your mouse left click button, the farther they'll go. And they tend to bounce a lot, so you can aim a little shallower than you need to, or throw it up against a wall and that'll stop it. If you're inside of a building and you toss one, chances are it's going to fall through the floor. It's just a glitch in the game. I don't think they've fixed it yet, but I don't think I have the most up-to-date version. Going back to vehicles, here's a car part. You need lots of parts to fix vehicles. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but that's one of the parts you need. They take up a lot of inventory space, so it's tough to do that just by yourself. It would take a really long time to put a vehicle together by yourself, and you need a toolbox, something I've never even managed to find because it seems to be a pretty rare item. This, I think, is a water fountain or a well. I'll show you how that works. Your double-click your backpack to open that up. Move my water bottle over. I'm going to drink my water. And if you're nearby this water fountain, you can right-click and fill your water back up. In the upper right-hand corner, in the tan box, you'll see a lot of information that's relevant. Yours might look a little different than mine since I'm playing the single player version, but all the information is important there, so keep an eye on that. It'll give you an idea how many zombies you have around you, your exact blood count. I gotta hit the deck here. The temperature outside, which doesn't really seem to come into play too much. Another thing about zombies, you'll notice sometimes the game, I don't know if it gets behind while it's spawning the zombies, but you'll come across areas that have no zombies, and all of a sudden there'll be zombies all around you like this, and they'll just spawn right in front of you sometimes. So if there aren't zombies near you and it's been quiet for a while, you should be cautious because chances are they're about to spawn a whole nother wave right on top of you. So it looks like I pretty much explored this town. Not a whole lot of buildings enterable. Here's a little gas station, I think. I'm going there and see what's in there. Gas stations usually, I think you can fill up the fuel tanks. You get jerry cans. They're little gas cans, green gas cans that you use to fill up vehicles with fuel. Chances are there'll be one of those in there. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I'm assuming you fill up right at these gas pumps in front of me here. What is that? Sometimes hitting these bumps will cause you to stand up and sprint, so be careful if you're laying down and crawling over door frames or whatever. Sometimes they'll make you stand up and just totally blow your cover, because when you start sprinting you're making a whole lot more noise. Also, zombies can move pretty much the same way you can. They'll crouch and crawl sometimes. Usually they'll walk around, but you got to keep an eye out for these crouched guys, and especially the crawling guys in the grass. They're tough to see sometimes. They can be right on top of you and you don't even notice it. And you can see he's actually looking my way. So if I were to stand up right now, he would see me right away. And now he's looking back forward. Huh. Here's some gear in the air. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Do I want to risk picking it up? Why not? If it'll even let me. Nope. So I'm gonna get out of this town. Wow. Alright. Not a good time to get seen. There are hatchets in the game. This one's not you can't pick it up, so don't waste your time with that. There aren't any melee weapons in the game. Even the hatchet you can't use as a weapon. It's only used for gathering firewood. So I'm gonna sprint ahead to the next town and we'll look at some more gear and stuff when I get there.